discovery that's changing what we think we know about how the Americas were settled.
So there's this team at Florida State University that discovered stone tools alongside mastodon bones. That means they found the oldest known site of human life in the southeastern U.S. Consider that. Think about it for just a second. We're joined now by Florida State University Assistant Professor Jesse Holligan. Professor Holligan, good morning to you.
Good morning to you guys.
So put into just layman's waking up Saturday morning, eating my Wheaties terms, what this means, the discovery of these tools.
So these bones and artifacts show that people were in Florida 1,500 years earlier than a lot of people accept the Americas were colonized. And more importantly, a lot of us were taught that the Americas were colonized by some folks coming through an ice-free corridor from Alaska through Canada into North and South America around 13,500 years ago. That's what most high school textbooks say. That ice-free corridor wasn't open until 14,000 years ago. This site is 500 years older than that, and in Florida, which is by any stretch of the imagination, kitty corner across the continent from Alaska. So it means that we really have to re-examine how and when the Americas were colonized.
So this is on its face fascinating, but when I look at the pictures and the images here, it's underwater.
Yes.
It's some underwater sinkhole. Is that what we're looking at here?
Yes, it's a sinkhole in the bottom of the Osceola River. The people weren't, however, scuba diving 14,500 years ago. This was a site that would have been an isolated pond about 130 miles from the coast at the time people were here 14,500 years ago, because sea levels were almost 300 feet lower then, and Florida was nearly twice as big.
There's something going on out here. I want to show you something. Let me share something with the plants. And I'm having fruit fly again. I mean, it's December. Normally in December, no fruit fly. I mean, they disappear. They're gone. You know, and now it's fruit fly. So fruit fly, the insects, the plants, they're telling you something. They're messing with the weather, man. They're messing with nature. So this plant is henbit. This comes up in the springtime, going towards summer, and the weather is so messed up. It start, to shoot out again. I'm going to show you another plant here. These are strawberry plant. These are supposed to be like die out. Look, some of it is gone. Some of them still fresh, still green. I'll get these here to make tea. Yeah, but I have that there. What else? I have a lot of dough. Let me go over here, show you. Look at this mullein here. Mullein, this is supposed to be sleeping, taking a rest for the springtime. But look at it now. Look at it. Something ain't right. Something is not right.
Anything familiar, is it still secretly being used today? Think about it.
Is the sky so beautiful in the land of your kinghood? Not exactly, Baba. You see stars that we do not see. And we see stars that you do not see. Amazing. Everywhere we look. Down, up. Our peoples are different. Yet you ask them to come together. Or this nation you speak of, the fruit of our alliance, who would govern it? There would be representatives sent out from our king, who, together with you, would deliberate, make laws, see to the needs of the people. Your people would know the needs of my people. We would learn each other's needs. How would we live in this nation? As neighbors, village near village. And how would these villages be placed? Zulu, English, Zulu, English, Zulu. The land is vast, Baba. There's plenty of room for all. Without crowding. Without crowding, Febana, you mean Zulu, English. Until our needs become clear. I see. But what would happen, Febana, if after many generations, the children of your children were still unable to learn the needs of my people? If their stars remained different, would they then leave to go back to the lands where you came from? Or would they have learned to love this land so deeply that no other land could be home? What would happen, Febana, if this land, without crowding, became crowded? Which of those unborn children would then be called African? Yours or mine?
Come in and whisper shit in your ear and telling you thoughts or low thoughts to make you feel depressed, and you thinking it's your own thoughts. And one day you'll be up, the next day you'll be down. You don't even know it. Be fucking entities in your shit, and you thinking it's your own thoughts. One day you just happy and shit. And you know, I see this. One day I was sitting down at the TV, and for a couple of minutes I started feeling negative. And you ever get to a point you just start feeling negative, and then when you think about it, you don't even know what you're feeling negative about? You ever think, you say, oh shit, I'm in trouble about something. And then you weigh it, you start feeling worried. And then you think about it, you say, goddamn, I ain't got nothing to be worried about. Not to the point where as I don't have anything to be worried. You really can't find nothing that you were supposed to be worried about in the first place. That's the entities getting at you. You see what I'm saying? Getting at you. And then if you get weaker and weaker, so the masses, they don't know about that. So they just like open.
I'm getting this information. I'm getting information now, and I need it to be confirmed. Did Oprah Winfrey just get arrested with $100 million? If Oprah Winfrey just got arrested with $100 million, they're about to release the names. I was going to do a video on the names release. My voice fucked up. I was going to do a video because the federal judge said that the names had to be released. And y'all know, before they go down, and they go into them bunkers, and they going to wherever they going. If Oprah Winfrey got caught with $100 million, she's on the run. And it's almost time.
We should be looking for extraterrestrials, not aliens.
There's one continent inside the Earth and one ocean. Their capital city is built around the original lost Garden of Eden. The vegetation grows like a paradise. The people live to be up to 800 years old. They communicate with telepathy. The inner Earth people have built these androids that fly their flying saucers out to reconnoiter the outer Earth. Our government has been knocking flying saucers out of the sky and back engineering these flying saucers. The people that live in the Hollow Earth are not extraterrestrials. They're from the lost tribes of Israel.
Santa Claus was a man by the name of St. Nicholas. And when I do research about St. Nicholas, the real St. Nicholas, the further back I go, the blacker St. Nicholas gets. The image that we have of Santa Claus is the rosy-cheeked European jolly guy, and that image was created sometime in the early 1800s. But the real Santa Claus was a man by the name of St. Nicholas. And when I do research about St. Nicholas, the real St. Nicholas, the further back I go, the blacker St. Nicholas gets. And when you look at pictures and portraits of St. Nicholas in museums in Europe, St. Nicholas is totally black. And there's a museum in Italy that has an old painting of St. Nicholas, and he has like dark skin, woolly hair. So people have to realize that the Santa Claus that we know and love today is based on a black saint from Europe.
Cabbage babies and orphan trains. I've got quite a theory for you, so hear me out. Cabbage Patch babies, that's basically, have you ever heard of a homunculus? Homunculus is like, they have figured out ways they can grow people out of the ground. It's pretty disgusting, but it's a real thing. And so they figured out how to grow people in basically in a cabbage pod. It's like the same as the pod people. And but they had to convince everybody that the world was a globe, of course. So that all ties into Tartaria. They wiped out everybody. First, they taught all the elders. They tried to get them to accept the fact that the Earth was a globe. Some did, and I think the ones who didn't were killed. And then, along with everybody in the population, and then they repopulated. There was the incubators and the infantoriums of the I'm blanking out. It's the world fairs, the infantoriums of the world fairs, and they would sell these babies, live babies, and nobody knew where they came from. So like Jerry Seinfeld said his dad was one of the babies that came from the world fair, an incubator. But so they used these orphan trains from like 1850 to 1924 to like repopulate all of America with children. That's why you see pictures of children trying to operate these giant pieces of machinery that obviously are not built for people their size. They're built for adults at the least, if not something bigger than that. And so once they were able to wipe out everybody who still knew the truth about the shape of the earth, they could start their new education program and grow up a whole new America. And where 100% of them, when it began, agreed the earth was a ball. In every big city in America, there has been a fire that destroyed the entire city at some point in the last 150 years. Just Google it. So first, anyone who was a Tartarian, which is a blanket term, I understand, was killed, and then they tried to destroy every piece of architecture that proved what they were doing so that they could try to convince people that technology wasn't better before you came along. And then they grew a whole new society, and they fed them the lies that they wanted them to believe. We are now at the point in our civilization where technology has severely outpaced the lie. So it's very easy now to figure out the earth is flat, but we're so locked into our programming that it's very difficult to question your reality. Once people do question the reality, consider the possibilities, then they can open their mind and start activating their consciousness. That's when you have the power to make a decision against authority if it's bad for you.
You know, it's illegal to collect rainwater. Illegal to collect rainwater, something that's falling from the sky. And you gotta ask yourself, why is that? Understand that we are like plants, bro. We are plants. Most of the time when it rains, the next day the sun comes out. You know why? Because it's growth water. The trees is growing, the plants is growing, the grass is growing. The best thing that you can put on your hair to help your hair grow is rain water. I ain't talking about that 1 minute rain. I'm talking about that thunderstorm rain, that rain for hours. I mean, damn near 2 days. That's growth water. That's the best thing you can put on your hair. It's gonna help your hair grow tremendously. It's gonna soothe your scalp. It's gonna promote growth. Rain water is growth water. It's healthy for you and it's great for your head. We are like plants. Water help us grow. Let's get healthy.
sitting there going, I think I'm meditating right, you're fucking up. Say you are. Make the choice to say, whatever I'm doing, it's right. And I'm going to do more and more of it. I'm going to learn more. I'm going to get better. But I am not doing this wrong. You tell yourself you're doing this wrong, you're programming yourself. Program yourself. Fake it till you make it. That's an occult statement, not just some cute shit to say. So remember the Matrix. Your mind makes it real. So if you keep saying I'm doing it wrong, guess what? Your mind makes that real. So if you're doing whatever, convince yourself you're doing it right. Meditation is the act of keeping your mind still as best you can. So most people got to do this, got to do this, got to do that. You don't have to. What keeps you still and thinking of one thing? You can sit in this chair and put on headphones, zone out to the song, and see the song in your head.
Grind! This little bitch, this little hoe. I love the way you walk, love the way you talk. None of y'all niggas don't play. I'm crying about what's weird today.
So this creator has turned a Mandela effect into a money-making opportunity. Check this out.
I officially have government documentation that Fruit of the Loom is lying about never being associated with the Cornucopia. That we should first start off with this Frank West album, Fruit of the Loom, which was made in the late 1970s and was a clear spin-off of Fruit of the Loom. I don't know how to credit a Redditor, but this one deserves an award because he went so far down the rabbit hole, he ended up reaching out to the son of the artist who created the art for the album cover. The son responded, making it very clear that Fruit of the Loom was in fact inspired by Fruit of the Loom and the Cornucopia was part of its logo. Redditor even brought receipts and took a screenshot of his email conversation. The part I'm most excited about, this is an official government document for the Fruit of the Loom trademark, and if you look at the bottom, it said baskets of fruit, containers of fruit, cornucopia, horn of plenty. And I'm not arguing that there's no room for discussion about when and how this logo was used, but it's clearly dishonest for Fruit of the Loom to make us believe we're crazy for assuming that the cornucopia was ever associated with their logo. It still makes absolutely no sense to me how each one of us have a vivid memory of our childhood asking our mom what's in the Fruit of the Loom logo, and that's how we learned what a cornucopia was. In an attempt to back Fruit of the Loom into a trademark corner, I'm now selling these sweatshirts, which means I'm about to be sued for every penny I'm worth, but they'll have to admit the cornucopia is a part of their logo, or I will become a trillionaire. Either way, it's a win-win for me.
Awesome sauce!
Grief totally messes with the cardiovascular system. Grief totally messes with the cardiovascular system, but when you look at the cardiovascular system, it's closely associated with the kidneys. So there's not one mental illness that you can experience that doesn't have a physical impression on the body. Bro, remember, it's called the molecules of emotions.
When my best friend died, I had chest pains for like a month.
Yeah, grief. Grief, it attacks the heart. Or you can see a significant other die. For couples that have been together for 45 to 50 years, and soon as their significant other die, they die 2 days later. Look up the statistics on that. Or I know over 3 people, I study this stuff all the time, where their son died or their daughter died, and they died at the damn funeral. They died at the wake. So you can have grief or have regret or feel so sorry that you can truly physically have a broken heart. And I'm talking about physically, where different blood vessels inside your myocardium or your left or right ventricle of your heart will calcify and break open. Because stress raises cortisol, cortisol raises blood pressure rips and tear arteries. When you rip and tear an artery, that's going to cause cholesterol to go patch up that hole, and then it have to solidify to rebuild, so calcium will come in, and what calcium do is solidify and calcify. Blood trying to break through calcium will cause an eruption. This eruption is what you'll call an aneurysm or a cardiovascular heart attack.
So to anybody who follows their gut instinct or spiritual intuition, I'm going to give y'all some advice real quick. Don't go around calling people out on their BS. When somebody telling you something, And you can read their body language. You can see it in their eyes. They say the eyes are the window to the soul. Look somebody in their eyes when you're talking to them. You'll be able to tell, even if you ain't gifted in psychology and body language. Your gift, bro, the eyes send energy, bro. All of these things are like portals for energy, bro. So you can feel when somebody's lying. This is why people be wearing shades. Like Gnostic people, esoteric people, this is why people literally wear shades, bro. It's to shield that energy so you don't feel other people's energy and so they don't feel yours. It provides a level of shielding and comfortability, bro. I swear to God. But anyway, let's get past that, though. Don't make yourself look crazy calling people out on their BS, bro. When you know intuitively somebody's gaslighting you or lying or being manipulative, control the situation with what you know. But don't call people out. That will only make you look crazy. Deep down, they're going to be like, dang, how did they know? But they're going to project the energy up, you're crazy. I know because I've seen it and I've physically experienced it. I've called people out on their lies. And they knew it. Whole chemistry changed. Not because I'm coming off crazy, because they knew I knew. And their whole body language just changed. You know what I'm saying? But they can't admit it because they're liars. So it's only going to make you look crazy. You got to walk through life with your gift silently, bro. Don't be loud about it. Because I promise you, when it comes to intuition and spiritual gifts, life is literally like the movie Inception. The minute you let people know it's just a dream, the minute you know, like let people know that you know that there are other energies out there and there are ways to tune in and some of these things are real, people will turn against you, bro. Just like Inception in a dream, bro. The NPCs recognized he wasn't one of them and they attacked him. Straight up. And again, it goes back to the Apostle Paul. Be careful not to offend, for you don't want our ministry to find blame. You got to use your gift sparingly and wisely. I'm out.
Hey, King. I just wanted to let you know you are too handsome not to always be smiling, yeah? Oh, thank you very much. No problem. I just want to let you know you are way too handsome not to always be smiling, yeah? You're welcome. Take care. How you doing, King? I'm all right. I just want to let you know you are way too handsome not to always be smiling here. Oh, no problem. Give me a hug. Come on. We can hug each other. Happy holidays. How you doing, King? I just wanted to let you know you are way too handsome not to always be smiling here. You just be chilling? But let me see that little smile on you. It's nice. Look at it. It brights up the world just like the sun. And you should always know that, okay? I love you, King. All right.
By now, I'm pretty sure all of y'all have heard about the possibility, and it seems the White House spokesman talking about the possibility of mass evacuations, contingency plans in case of war. I'm going to tell you what it's really about. They want this land because this is really Egypt, the real Israel. Everything is here. This is the promised land. And they know that there's going to come a time when they got to go because you stole it from God's people. So what they've been doing in Hawaii and all, remember what that man said? That was very key. There's not a place on this earth where the United States doesn't have a contingency plan for mass evacuations. They want to take people out of here so that you can't activate. They gonna cause a major problem and then acting like in order for you to have your life saved, they gonna give you a free ride. Come stay in one of these bunkers. And you go into a concentration camp. They're gonna try to trick you into leaving your own land. See, they can't force you out, but the one thing they is allowed to do is trick you.
Things we know is there are Europeans who wrote books about the African presence in America before Columbus, but it's difficult to actually get your hands on some of the copies of these books. They're real hard to find because it wasn't popular for white folk or black folk, but especially white scientists to say that African folk, that Moorish people were in America prior to the European coming here.